that what you're saying? Do you agree with that?
He pulled the judge away and asked him what sequence he had to do this for it to do what he wanted.
So what was the exact question? Okay, so we both agree you talked to Marco before casting. What exactly did you say? Okay, and what did the judge say?
Yes,
Joan and John and Hart.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I've heard your side. I'm going to talk to the actual judge away from the table, and I'll come.
Hold on, before you step away. So since you came over, we clarified the sequence of events, and we clarified that this resolved. We are not, in fact, going to back up.
So I will say this. I want to talk to the judge. The head judge does have the discretion to do a minor backup if a question was answered incorrectly by a floor judge, because we don't want to penalize the player. But I have to figure out whether there was a misunderstanding or if the judge was, or if the question was actually answered incorrectly. That's why I'm going to go talk to Marco. Is everyone good with that? I don't want to penalize someone for making a play based on incorrect information from the judge.
Sure.
That's what I have to do.
I knew from the start that you couldn't do it though.
Okay, but he told me that. And that's what I was going from, is the judge who was here and told me I could. So for you, like, wanting to me to get screwed on something that he led me to believe, even if you knew it was wrong, even if you knew he was wrong, don't be upset about him fucking me. He fucked me up. So even if you knew what was right, that's cool. But if he would have just told me what was right, I would have never passed it. Obviously, I'm not going to.
Well, obviously, you step away to ask a question about essence flux. When you sit back down, I can just tell you no, it doesn't. Or to read.
You to tell you guys about essence
Well, I don't need you to tell me. You telegraphed it. Like.
I would actually say, hey, so you know how this part works? Because I just asked the judge, and he said it works how I want it to.
So my understanding.
That's why
All
I
I'm trying to
called
say
the
is, like, you shouldn't be upset with me for.
So there's no middle of this spell.
There's no reason for it to be upset about going.
What this player wants is he wants to exile this forever with spell queller. But what he got fucked up on was these triggers go at the same time, and because of that, there is no legal target. If we go to continue, that's going to resolve. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's going to resolve.
What I don't understand is there's no middle of this spell. There's no like additional interjection into the stack when he chooses yes or no. Right? Shouldn't there be an interjection in the stack for him to say yes or no?
This is never going to go in the stack until this is finished resolving. This doesn't.
So
go
all right.
in the middle
So there's
of
no middle of
There's
essence
no
flux.
middle, yeah.
That if that's the ruling, then that's clear. If it's not the ruling, because that's the question, then, right? Is that going to interject into the stack before the rest of the spell resolves? Because you need that resolve after that goes on the stack for Spell Queller to have the target to exile it back down.
The question is, are we going to continue as is, or is he going to determine that there's going to be about a setback? If there's going to be about a setback, that's going to go back into his hand. This hand's going to get really complicated.
And to clarify with you, when he comes over to get his clarification and says, "Where are we? What are you trying to do?" and we both agree that this has resolved. That's where I'm at.
So we know that what happened with Grizzly, we already know that. We're trying to find out if
Stasis there underneath the smoke.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, I understand that I'm going to make one person unhappy regardless of what I say next. So I will say this: I've heard testimony from both of you, and I've talked to the judge. Other than what we've discussed so far, is there any other pieces of information you would like to share right now before I give a final answer?
He's not allowed.
Oh yeah, a pointer.
Nobody's allowed to tell you how to do this.
No, I'm not asking about anything about that. I'm asking about you.
Ask
What
your
is
question.
the best way for me to get clarification on how
So I will say this. You can ask whatever question you would like to a judge. If it is not about the rules, but it is about strategic advice, the judge will tell you, I can't answer this question.
You can ask for the oracle text.
it goes into favor this time? I look because what should I have done to ask to figure out how to actually because I didn't know how this interaction was.
So we can only help you with the rules. We can't help you parse through all of the possibilities the rules give to what actually happens. Okay, so all right, I don't want to get into.
So you know how you can ask for Oracle text? You can ask for Oracle text on how a card interacts with another card.
Okay, so are there any other pieces of information from what's happened here? Okay, so I've talked to both of you and also to Marco. I understand you asked him a question. I believe that he gave you an answer based on his understanding of the situation that was incorrect. And because of that, you made a play based on incorrect information. So since it's just happening, what I'm going to do is, unfortunately, I can't fix this, all of it. But what I can do is, Tom will know that this card is in your hand, but we'll back this up to right before you cast that, because I believe you cast that with incorrect information from a judge, and we've caught it in a time limit. Yeah.
The moment that if it's relevant, the moment that the question was asked, the reflection made was still in the stack. It wasn't with the thing. I don't know if that changes the point of the one to the account.
The ability was on the stack.
Okay. Sorry about that.
So you've got to understand, in these sort of hazy situations, I cannot make everyone happy, but this is reasonably what I believe is the best fix in this situation. So this is the ruling, this is final. If you want to talk with me more about it afterwards, we can, but we can play on. This is targeting this.
Alternate every day.
White foot stays the snare on the stack. Target eliminated. Sorry? Where am I, man? Face?